Hi there. I and my buddy Joe English are sending our regards, and today we would like to do some ACT English section test questions together. So, without further ado, let's share the PDF and do the questions together. Today's passage is entitled Christ's Constitution. Okay, so let's read the first one. From shoes to chandelier, seen at the singing of the Constitution of the United States, blend accuracy with artistic license. No change, have blended are blending blends. If we go back, we will discover that the subject is seen at the singing of the Constitution of the United States. So this is one thing, singular subject. So we should go for blends, J. So seen blends accuracy with artistic. Okay, so J is the best answer. 47, which choice best indicates where the painting is on display? It's like a painting or something entitled Seen at the Singing of the Constitution. And so, which choice best indicates where the painting is on display? Okay, if we say blends accuracy with artistic license to achieve artist's vision of an event that took place in Philadelphia's Independence Hall, or should we say in a way that is not immediately apparent in to all, or in C in one of the most famous paintings in Washington D.C., or on a canvas that has been on display for many decades. So I think C would be a good answer here. Okay, blends accuracy with artistic license in one of the most famous paintings in Washington, D.C. That is the Constitution of the United States, or the singing of the Constitution of the United States. So that makes more sense. So C is the best answer. Let's go for to 48. Long after George Washington presided, dash over the momentous event. Okay, presided over. We should not put anything to divide presided and over. So we should go for H. 48 is H, presided over the momentous event. So he was directing or something like that, directing the event or taking care of the event, presiding over or presided over. So H is the best answer. Moving on to 49, he says, presided over the momentous event that in 1787 served the final role of ending the Constitutional Convention. Should we leave it as it is or say ended the conclusion of, in the conclusion of, no, finished off or concluded? I think the best answer would be concluded because it would be more natural to say presided over the momentous event that in 1787 concluded the Constitutional Convention. If we say ended in the conclusion of, end and conclusion is repeated and we don't want that repetition and wordiness. Also, if we leave it as it is, like in A, no change, served the final role of ending. So final and ending also doesn't is not required. So instead of saying served the final role of ending, we just say concluded, which is the same meaning in a simpler and more direct way. So as you know that in the ACT, we appreciate the shorter and to the point answer if it makes sense. So D here makes more sense and it serves the same meaning. So 49D is the best answer. Let's now move to 50 and let's read 50 from the beginning. Yeah, Capitol building where it was installed in 1940. Christie's prior, yeah, Christie's prior preparations in advance of the work included a visit to Philadelphia to study how blah, blah, blah. All right. So should we leave it as it is, or preparation work leading up to, or advanced preparations preceding, or preparations for? So notice that preparation is repeated in all choices, and the shortest one is J. If we say Krista's preparation for the work included a visit to blah, 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 it makes sense. It's shorter and to the point. So remember, if you have one specific word repeated in the four distractors, and one is shorter and better than the others, that in the sense that it conveys the same meaning and to the point, then we should opt for the shortest answer. But if it makes sense, all right? Okay, so J is the best answer here. How about 51? Christie arranged to see the inkwells into which the quills would have been dipped as the delegates prepared to make history. It makes sense the way it is, into which the quills would have been dipped. Okay? Which is not the best answer. If we delete it as in D, it would be inkwells, the quills would have been dipped. It doesn't make sense. And if we say C, for example, the inkwells of the quills would have been dipped, no. So the best answer is leave it as it is or no change, A. And it is it sounds more natural when you say Christie arranged to see the inkwells into which the quills would have been dipped. So that makes perfect sense. So 51A. Now moving to 52, okay. He scoured countless drawings of period furniture and fabrics, noting color, texture, design. Okay, so yeah, it makes sense. He's coward, blah, 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 noting, blah, blah, blah. Should we leave it as it is? Let's read the other choices of which were noted, of which were noted. And all right, let me have a take this phone call for just a couple minutes and be back. الو السلام عليكم اهلا وسهلا ازيك يا محمد ازيك عامل ايه طب خلاص ماشي زي ما تحب انا زي ما قلت لك احنا عندنا في الامريكان خدوا قرار هنا هيشغلوا كله اونلاين واحنا فعلا واخدين اسبوعين الاسبوع ده الاسبوع الجاي وهنبدا ان شاء الله بعد كده اونلاين كله فانت حسب بقى المدرسه بتاعتك انت في كل الاحوال ماشي ممكن تاخد اسبوعين هو في ماشي ماشي انا كنت عايز اقول لك برضه بس انا قلت سيبك براحتك في ناس خدوا ايوه ايوه يا محمد خلاص ناخد اسبوعين وانت لما تحب تبدا كلمني ان شاء الله اوكي يلا سلام على بابا والجماعه يلا ماشي ماشي الف سلامه All right. It was an important phone call, so I had to take it. So let's continue from where we were talking. Here, he scoured countless painting, drawings of period furniture and fabrics, noting color, texture, design. That makes more sense than the other choices. All right. So F, no change would be the best answer. Okay, okay. Let's read the other one. All right, let me take a sip. Okay. I just like my coffee, so it's a good thing to be able to drink your preferred drink while you are doing some of these tests. Okay. Okay. Also, they give you a break during the ACT test, so you can go out and take your, uh, coffee or tea or whatever drink you like, and then come back and continue the rest of the test. So good luck for everybody. Now we are moving to 53. Okay. Yes. Hunting down portrays um, of the singers and scrutinized them. Okay, so if we say hunting down, portrays, and scrutinize, that doesn't go together because of parallelism. Hunting is an ing or gerund, and scrutinize is a verb in the past tense. So either we make both gerund or we change the gerund to a verb in the past. So if we look at the choices, we have choice D saying he hunted down portrays. So in this case, it makes sense. He hunted down and scrutinized them. So D is the best answer. Okay. Yeah, because also we have the subject. If we choose B, for example, while hunting, it doesn't have a clear reference to who did that. So we better choose D because it has the subject, the verb, and then there's parallelism between this verb in the past and scrutinized in the past as well. Okay, so D is the best answer. Now let's move on to 54. The writer wants to add the following statement to the paragraph. He deliberately timed his trip for September, the month in which the 39 singers had put their names on the revered document, or the document that is well respected or something. Okay, so where is the best place that we should put that? The statement would most logically be placed after sentence one or two or three or four. So it's talking about he deliberately timed his trip for September, the month in which the 39 singers had put their names on the respected documents. So let's go for uh, these sentences. Sentence one, okay. The group portray as big as billboard hangs in the U.S. Capitol building where it was installed in 1940. Christie's prior preparation in advance of the work included a visit to Philadelphia to study how the light falls through the windows in Independence Hall. Then three, Christie arranged to see inkwells. And then four, he scoured countless drawings of prior furniture, blah, blah, blah. So if we put it after two, Christie's prior preparation in advance of the work included a visit to Philadelphia to study how the light falls in the Independence Day. So G, after sentence two, it would make most sense. If you read it a couple of times, you will reach that conclusion. Such questions, I'll repeat it one more time. If you don't have time on the actual ACT test, leave it to the end. If you still don't have time, try to use process of elimination, and then you are left with a couple of choices. You need to make a choice between them. And that's it. Don't leave a question unanswered, but the question that takes longer to answer, leave it to the end. All right, so let's move now to 55. Here. Yeah, Emmanuel Lewis, Washington crossing the Delaware. The president strikes a noble pose on a boat. And then experts now agree could not have been the vessel that carried the revolutionary leader across the river. Okay, no change. All right. B, both experts, or both semicolon experts, or both comma experts. Okay. A Nobel boss on a boat experts now agree could not have blah blah blah. So I think B, if we don't have any punctuation, it would be the best answer, because the whole sentence would read that the president strikes a Nobel boss on a boat. Experts now agree could not have been in, or could not have been, the vessel that carried the revolutionary leader across the river. So in other words, it's a very long sentence. If we use the semicolon as in C, it would make them two sentences, but it doesn't make sense here to do so. And also, if we use a comma as in D, it will not be correct. So the best answer is without punctuation. Also remember that about the punctuation, if you have all choices with punctuations like commas and semicolons and so on, and one choice without any punctuation, that would be the best answer most of the time, if it makes sense. So you need to read it. If it makes sense, it sounds natural, then why complicate it? If it makes sense without punctuation, then that would be the best answer. So B is the best answer here. Moving on to 56 now. Okay. In another painting, we cannot divide another and painting, so this would be wrong. The first choice, F, is wrong, because we cannot separate an adjective and a noun, or the word another and then the noun that comes after it with a comma. Okay, so what is the best choice then? Consider G, another painting of the singing, comma, or another painting of the singing without any punctuation, or another painting, comma, of the singing. Also, another painting and then comma of the singing is not correct to do so. We should say painting of the singing, so without any punctuation. So in that sentence, H would be the best choice because it doesn't have punctuation after singing or after painting. So it would read like this. In another painting of the singing of the US Constitution, artist blah, 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 places the figures in a Roman ruin. So in this choice, in this sentence, in this question, H would be the best answer. Okay, let's now move to question 57. Okay, which singles him out in Christie's famous painting? Singles him out. Okay, which choice both supports the claim the writer makes in the preceding sentence about the grandeur of the moment, and best emphasizes that Christie deliberately presents Washington as having a special status among the singers? Okay, let's read the preceding sentence first. It says here, for instance, Washington benefits from more than his share of natural light, which singles him out in Christie's famous painting. I think that makes sense. Okay, but if we want to choose something that emphasizes the special status of Washington among the other singers, we could also look at the other choices as a hero among heroes. So as a hero, that would make or emphasize his special status. With visual effects, no. In a group or in the group, no. So while A is okay, but B is better because of the word hero that denotes the special status of Washington. So here, it is the best answer because in the prompt he says deliberately presents Washington as having a special status. The thing that serves that end is using B, all right, as a hero among heroes. Let's now move to 58. Many of the assembled men, luminaries as Benjamin Franklin and James Madison, impor- imperturbably stare the viewer squarely in the eye. Should we leave it as it is, or including such luminaries as, or who are luminaries, or just delete the underlined part? Like many of the assembled men, Benjamin and blah, 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 uh, uh, stare the viewer squarely in the eye. So, which one is the best choice? Okay. If we say G, including such luminaries as Benjamin Franklin and James Madison, improbably stare the viewer squarely in the eye. That would be the best choice for that question. Now we are left with two remaining questions. Okay. For the sake of logic and cohesion, paragraph 3 should be placed where it is now, or before paragraph 1, or after paragraph 1, or after paragraph 4. Such questions requires you to go back and read the paragraph that follows and the paragraph that is following to decide which uh, place is best for that. So, for example, if we go to paragraph 3, where is paragraph? This is paragraph 4, and this is paragraph 3. Let's read a little bit before it. Okay, hunting down portraits of singers and scrutinized, like he hunted and scrutinized, as we said before. Such measures may seem standard in the making of historical paintings, but that is not the case. For example, in Emmanuel, blah, 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 the president strikes a noble pose on the boat. Then, after that, or the last sentence he says of the paragraph, in another painting of the singing of the US Constitution, artist Barry places the figures in a Roman ruin. Accurate in many respects, Christie's painting also plays with the truth to suggest the grandeur of the moment. So that follows from what is said in the final line of paragraph 3, and that is linked to what was said in paragraph 2. So the best place for that paragraph is where it is now. Where it is now is choice A. So A would be the best answer to question 59. As I said, read the prompt first, and for such questions, where is the best place to put this statement or that sentence? Leave it to the end because it takes more time to decide on such questions. If you don't have time at all, you have to make a choice between the four distractors. If you can, you know, use a process of elimination to delete a couple of choices, then you're left with two, and you need to choose between them anyway. But don't leave a question unanswered. If we look at the last question here, 60, suppose the writer's primary purpose had been to examine how a work of art changed the direction of an artist's career. Would this essay accomplish that purpose? No, no, because it focuses on Christie's approach to a particular painting. That would be, I think, the best answer. If we read the other one, no, J, because it indicates that Christie consistently focused on historical subject. No. So it's H because no, because it focuses on Christie's approach to a particular painting, but does not discuss the painting's effect on Christie's career. He is talking about the painting itself, but not how it affected his career. So H is the best answer to the last question. As I said, even if you have some questions wrong on the ACT or SAT, do not panic, because if you do, this will affect the coming questions negatively. And your success or failure on the test is measured by whether you got the score that qualifies you to join the college or the university that you want or not. So I'm not taking this test to get, for example, 35 on the English test. If I don't get the 35, I feel bad about myself. No. If you get 30 or even 25 or even 22, and that score prepares you and qualifies you for the college that you want, then this is your success. All right? Yeah. And remember, you need to take the ACT score that qualifies you for the college that you want. You don't need any better or any higher score, and getting any better or higher score doesn't mean anything other than that you can join or you're qualified to join or you have one of the requirements to join the college that you want. Okay? Yes, that is something very important to bear in mind. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.